Hey everybody, my name's Kristen Culver and I just wanted to introduce myself. I figured that you guys probably already have read the post I put up earlier today and will be enjoying the posts I've scheduled for throughout the day. I do have to step away for this afternoon. Sad news, my mother-in-law passed away a couple months ago and we're finally having a virtual service for her. But otherwise, life as usual goes on. And you probably are thinking, so what does that got to do with anything? Mary Kay, the company, the woman, and the lifestyle, if you will, believes that your faith comes first, your family second, and your career third. So if that means I need to take time out from work or other stuff to pause and reflect on the life of a wonderful woman who mothered my husband and, was an influence in his life, and I did get to meet her briefly before we got married, and I've known her for the 8 years that we were married till she passed this year. She was 92 years old. She had a long run, and she was an admirable woman for all the things she's accomplished, and she reminds me to this day, it doesn't matter how old you are, whatever you grew up in, or what generation you're from, you can try new things, you can do the scary stuff and still get over it, and to face every day with a smile on your face and a blessing in your heart. I won't get all preachy on you. It's just a part of who I am. And the company, because Mary Kay was Christian, is Christian-based, but actually accepts all faiths, all alignments, all orientations. We have consultants of every shape, color, religion. We're in 35, I think more than that now, countries around the world. We have men and women consultants. We have transgender consultants. I'm sure there are other orientations I'm not thinking of, but just saying we're very open, inclusive, and diverse. The company itself is based in the US, so if you care about made in the USA, our stuff is made in the USA. I think China is the only exception, and that's because they have certain rules in place. Their government's very strict on that. We only just now, with many other companies, lobbied for them to stop animal testing. Like, that's a biggie. But that's going to take time. But in America, we have not done animal testing in decades. I know initially in the 60s, we were founded in 63, by the way. They might have, because that was the standard, but we have moved away from that. We use focus groups. We have people tell us what they think of the products they use. Like, how appropriate is that, right? It's skincare. Animals aren't going to be wearing it anyway. So just a little bit tidbits about the company. I figured you'd appreciate having, a cup of coffee with me and just learning who I be. A little bit about Mary Kay, the woman. She was a single mom. I mean, her husband passed away just days before she founded the company. She used her life savings to start the company and was raising her kids and running a business. And she was close to retirement age at that point. She had worked before in direct sales. And of course, being a mom, that's a full-time job. You can't imagine. There are people today that impress you. She's kind of that type of person. She was self-invented. And if you ever have a chance to read her biography, it is a really interesting read. I'm happy to send you a copy. I've got spares. Seriously, comment below. I'll send you a copy. You can return it when you're done. You don't have to keep it unless you really love it. But the thing I think is interesting is to know the person behind the company makes a big difference. To know the beliefs behind the company's mindset, their morals, their ethics, if you will. We have recently developed a research facility that's right next to the production facility, so a lot less wasted time and travel. It is green. It has a very low, if not zero, carbon footprint. I double-checked the numbers on me. I do not have that stuff in front of me. What you should know is we're always striving to be better. We're always striving to be more environmentally conscious. We have a Pink Doing Green recycling program. The charitable foundation in Mary Kay Ash's name funds 2 different grant programs, domestic violence shelters and outdoor learning programs, because they're associated with the shelters, and research on cancers affecting women. I'm a cancer survivor myself, and so that meant a lot to me. I have friends who have been survivors of domestic violence situations, so again, it means something to me. So I use my business to raise funds for whatever charity that matters to me. Before, it was American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, and I'd walk the track overnight with my cousin, and we would relay together. I am a survivor and a caregiver. She is a caregiver for an aunt of hers who did eventually pass. And being a cancer survivor gives you perspective. And watching my father have the same cancer, not knowing it was hereditary till after the fact, that was an eye-opener. And speaking of eyes, if you did notice, yes, there's no lenses in these. These are just fun glasses. They tie into my VIP group. It's a private group called Seeing Life Through K. Rose Carroll's Rose-Colored Glasses. And that is part of who I am, my perspective. I have a very positive outlook on life. I've been through enough. I won't give you all the boring, gory details to know that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think I'm quoting Conan the Barbarian there. I love sci-fi, so that's going to always eep into my life. But my page is known for humor and education. I tend to do a lot of tutorials and tips. I share favorite books I've read, thoughts of the day. I do give away prizes and stuff too. I just didn't want it to be a generic beauty blogger page. You know, I didn't want to be all salesy. And you might be like, well, why are you on this event if you're not trying to sell stuff? Well, gee, because I got to pay the bills too. I'm looking to meet new people. This is a networking opportunity. This is a chance to build relationships and make friends. Don't you like making friends? I know I do. And I'm in Massachusetts, which is still, and Boston at that, so it's still kind of a red zone. I got my first shot. I'm waiting for my second one. So far, so good. But that doesn't make me a superhuman and immune and able to just walk out there without a mask on. I still have to do all the things like everyone else. But what I think is important to note is that I'm trying to get back out into the world. I isolated very well. I had no antibodies in my body twice when I donated for the Red Cross. I'm O positive. I'm very useful like that. And I've noticed that I'm starting to want to see people face to face, even if it is over 6 feet away with a mask on. I can still teach, and I'm loud enough, you'll hear me through the mask. My nephew 3D printed this really great grill. It looks like a little miniature catcher's mask that goes here, and it pulls the mask away from your mouth so you can breathe. Oh, especially with glasses. I do really wear glasses, by the way, for distance vision. But every once in a while, when something's really tiny, like the captions on TV, I still have to use my glasses indoors. I find, yes, I'm a little bit of a stream of consciousness. I'm a little ADD, squirrel brain. I did not take my meds today. I wanted to be calm and not super overstimulated. There are times when I need to be super focused, but then I'm not talking to people, so it's okay. And my therapist tells me I've been coping since I was a kid, and I'm doing pretty good on my own, but it does help to have someone to turn to when you have a crisis. So guess what? Things hit the fan sometimes, such as a family member passing away or COVID. And I have learned to bounce back or bounce up, bounce forward. I don't know which phrase. I just feel like all of them apply. I'm a Tigger or Bumble. We bounce, And way too many pop culture references in that last sentence, but you get the idea. I hope that if you like being around someone with a positive attitude, but not like a Pollyanna where everything's perfect. No, everything isn't perfect. But I have a can do, make do, we'll make this work mindset. And that has a lot to do with why I've been in business for over 10 years. I celebrated my anniversary in March, which sounds crazy. I've never been working for anyone for that long. I worked for myself that long, but never worked for anyone else. And I think that's a testament to the entrepreneurial mindset. Have you ever said, I want to make my own hours? Have you ever said, I'd love to just not have to worry about paying the bills at the end of the month because you run out of money or your paycheck comes a day later than the bill? I've been unemployed. It's not fun. I've relied on state aid. It's not fun. I wanted to not need their help, but I've used it when it was needed. I want the whole world to be able to pick themselves up from their bootstraps and be able to get up and move and go on. But that's not always easy. Not everyone has the mental fortitude. Not everyone has the want or willingness to. And that's okay. We need people who punch in and do a job at a desk, as well as those of us who are crazy jump off a cliff mindset. I would actually never jump off a cliff, but the concept of just taking a risk is kind of, I like visualization. So for me, that kind of helps put it in my head. I wanted to make a better life for myself. And the only way I could figure out how was when this nice lady who's sharing makeup and skincare with me said, hey, by the way, you could work for yourself, make a 50% profit because you're buying things at wholesale and selling them at retail. You could build a team by teaching others what you do, which is kind of neat because I was thinking about teaching at one point in my life. I do not have kids. I wanted them, but life got kind of complicated. So my team members are kind of my kids. I nurture them. I help them. I grow them. And I foster them till they don't need me anymore. And it's kind of great. One of my team members actually moved up and became a director because I don't hold her back. The structure of our very simple, very legal, direct sales, not pyramid, not multi-level. I mean, technically it could be multi-level, but everyone has an agreement with the company, and that's that. Then who you're associated with is how they pay out commissions, which is great because it's coming out of company profits, not their profits. So I'm never even hurting my team members by taking any of their money. That's kind of cool. Company makes enough, trust me. They also take a loss with the starter kits, but that's a whole nother story for another time. Remind me to talk to you about that later this week when I talk about the Mary Kay opportunity in more detail. But I was like, okay, I like discounts. I don't care about selling. I don't sell. I'm an admin. I was a lab tech before that. Like, I don't sell. Girl Scout cookies, my parents helped me, so let's be honest. Sales is not my thing. But everyone says, oh, you're great in sales. I'm like, no, I'm a talker. I'm great at saying, oh my gosh, have you had this, let's say, cup of coffee? It is amazing. It smells yummy. It just is heavenly. The little froth, if there was like a latte, of milk on top with a little sprinkle of cinnamon. Oh, I can't wait to have that every morning. It is the best. This coffee is life. What did I do just there? I talked about what I loved about something. Did I make you buy it? Did I tell you what price? No. But if you were thinking about having coffee and I bring this coffee and talk to you about it, suddenly you're like, you know what? I'm in the mood for coffee. You know, where'd you get that? Can I get what you got? That's what selling is. Don't let it scare you. But understand, I can't have everyone be consultants because then I'd have no customers. So I understand it's not for everyone. And I don't want everyone to be on my team because that'd be silly. Like, seriously. I teach people to wash their face with soap. I teach people how to put mascara and eyeliner on. I help them problem solve when they have acne or dry patches or wrinkles and they want them to all go away. I am a problem solver. I'm a consultant. I don't call myself a Mary Kay sales rep. I am an independent consultant. I happen to be a beauty consultant. I happen to be a Mary Kay consultant. But I'm a consultant. My services are free. If you meet with me in person or virtually, free. The samples, free. I might ask you to pay for postage if I'm sending you a lot of stuff. And even then, I very rarely ask my customers to pay for postage because it's a tax write-off. Talk about perks. You learn how to deduct your office in home when you run a small business out of your home. You might not even think about it otherwise. And when you make more money, you have more ways to, donate to charity or, if you have kids, take care of their school needs and not have to be like, oh, I need this much extra for all the sports equipment or books or whatever. Tuition, saving up for tuition. If you start now while they're little by putting the extra $300 you made every month in a jar, or a savings account probably be better, unless you're into investing and can tell me about money market and all that, CDs, whatever. That money will grow and will be there for your kid when they get ready to go off to college. But if you don't have that extra $300, you're barely getting by. You probably aren't even paying for your own retirement. And your kid is going to get stuck going to whatever or doing whatever. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like going to a community college or going straight to work. Please don't interpret it that way. But if their dream is for higher education, it's not getting any cheaper. Trust me, I looked at what my school cost when I was going versus now. I couldn't afford to go to college if I wanted to right now. That, even with the money I make through Mary Kay, because I am setting some aside for home renovations. I'm setting some money aside for a vacation. I'm setting some money aside. I just finally put it off for like 8 years. My husband and I finally got a trust. So even though we don't have kids, like, people will know what to do with our stuff or take care of our cats. We have 2 fur babies. That's about as close to kids as we have. And I thought, that's not cheap, but it's important to have that locked in so that friends and family know what to do if something happens to one or both of us. Like, that's scary. Living life without any plan is not wise. Now, if your plan is get up, go to work, pay bills, and die, that's not a good plan. So for me, getting up, working for myself, making people happy, and making new connections, feeling exhausted at the end of the day because I worked hard, and going to bed, now that's a little bit better. And if I can make some money on the side while I do that, set aside a little bit for my dreams, use some to pay the bills, and know that I'm in a good place. And if something weird should happen the next day, like quarantine lockdown, I'm in a situation where I can continue to sell virtually. I can sell soap, hand sanitizer, face cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, hand and foot lotion, all these various serums, every piece of makeup you could think of so you can look fabulous on Zoom. And by the way, I am naked right now. I washed my face this morning. I wanted you to see me. Well, I don't really have wrinkles, just expression lines. But wrinkles and all, I can go out the door with this. I mean, I like my lip gloss, but I don't need. Skincare is a necessity. Makeup is an accessory. And I think you're beautiful the way you are. natural. But let's get this as healthy as it can possibly be. I was a lab tech for 10 years. I worked on both sides of the river, Charles River here in Boston, where all the medical buildings are, all the hospitals are. And I'll tell you something. I worked in labs where I never got to meet the patient. I just studied the blood samples or whatever material tissue I was working with. I studied food science. I worked in a Red Cross lab for a bit, and I tested the blood that people donate. Then look at me now, 20-something years later, I've donated 2 gallons. It took a little while. I didn't donate regularly, but that's a lot of units of blood to save lives. And to know that someone had to test that blood just the way I used to, that means a lot to me. Having a job that makes you feel like you're accomplishing something, that you are serving your community in some way, it helps. I mean, paying the bills is great, but it helps to have something that you love and you can live with. And somehow being a consultant is something I actually love. I've never dreamed it in a million years, but it's been a really great journey. I've gotten to travel. I've made new friends. I've gotten healthier. I've had a whole boost in my self-confidence. You can never catch me talking on camera back in the day. I was so shy, I would talk out of nervousness. Now I talk because I feel like I have something important to say. I joined a Toastmasters group 6 years ago and just recently, last summer, earned my DTM, which is an abbreviation for Distinguished Toastmaster, program that only 1% of people actually complete. And keep in mind, Toastmasters International is worldwide. I put the time in. I followed the tracks of both communication and leadership. I made sure I finished the projects on time. I worked with my club members and served my district as a director. I got to do some really cool stuff like speaking contests and help judge contests and run them. I got to help with conferences. I made some really cool friends, and I still have them to this day. I'm still learning great things from them. Opportunities I would not have had if I hadn't started my journey with just getting a roll-up bag and a hand lotion. I never thought a $100 decision would turn into all of this. I'm on target to break $40,000 in retail this year and earn a pretty blue topaz ring that's, I guess, worth about $500. Not that I care. I don't wear big fancy rings. This is the one that matters the most to me, by the way. Love you, Brian. I don't think he'll be watching this, but just because, I think it's important that it's nice to have things to show your accomplishments like trophies and ribbons. It's not all about the trophies and ribbons. 10 years ago, I was much more about baubles, goodies the company would give you. I've shifted, and I think that's just a personal growth thing. I never thought that this business would grow me as a person. So yeah, I'll be talking a lot about skincare, color, fragrance, body care. But I wanted you to really just get to know me first. I was a B student in high school and college. I think I hit the dean's list once. I played violin, guitar for a little while. I sang in chorus. Didn't really do drama club, but I did my share of stage light rigging and stagecraft building. I'm a girl who knows how to use power tools. I played softball in junior high, high school, and wanted to play on the company softball team, but never any company I ever worked for had one. And I was a little bummed about that because I was a catcher and I was used to playing, dirt in the skirt with all the gear on and being a little mannish and butch or whatever the term is nowadays. But I'm tapped into both sides of me, the male side, the female side. I feel like I can identify with just about anybody. Not everybody, but I try. I am an open-minded person who has seen a lot. I live in a city where on my street there's 3 or 4 different languages being spoken regularly. Different faiths, different cultures, different ethnic backgrounds. It's a great place for me to learn that I don't know everything, that there's so much more to learn. And it's humbling. I'm grateful for every customer I've met, every person who has met me that didn't become a customer, for every team member who's joined and or left. I am living my best life. And I get to do cool stuff like be on the computer and talk to you guys. And I hope to meet some of you one day. Really, like goofy as that sounds. I'm not famous. I'm not rich. Although I have the potential to be both. That's not the point. As I wrap up, I just want you to know my heart is in what I do. I don't care if you just have a silly question about skin and you just want to understand what the heck is dermis or how do I keep goop out of my pores. I have an allergy to name of ingredient. Is that in any of your stuff? I can look it up for you. Let's just say you shop with me and you change your mind. You can change your mind. There's no restocking fee. There's no shipping back fee. We have a great product replacement service that allows you to exchange a product or get a full refund. We want 100% satisfaction with our customers. And I think in customer service alone, I want 100% satisfaction. I will do what I can to mix and match between our multiple skincare lines to find the fit that's right for you. Understanding that we don't have everything for everyone, but we do a lot. We can serve men and women and teens, although the teens, they have to be 18 or older or have a guardian doing the purchasing, just FYI. And if you're just curious and want to know more about being a consultant, please, let's have a talk over some coffee. My treat. I honestly think whatever it is you dream in life, if you don't give yourself a deadline and an action plan, it's never going to happen. We overcommit ourselves so much. We want to be part of everything and have this fear of missing out. And then we realize as we look back at life with regrets, we didn't get to do the things we wanted to do. You didn't give yourself time to do what you needed to do. Now, I'm not saying be selfish, and I'm not saying hide under the sand and forget the rest of the world. I'm saying remember to carve out time for yourself. Know that you are worth and deserve the best. Don't let anyone ever else tell you what you're worth. If it's demeaning, whatever people think is not your business. If nothing else, I'm an advocate for you. I care about you. And I want you to have fun this week as you shop, this weekend, I guess. Try stuff. Do the games. Get the freebies. Maybe even shop. Maybe not with me. Maybe there's another vendor in this event that there's something they offer that you absolutely can't live without. Go for it. I'm not saying spend your life savings like Mary Kay did to found a company. But I'm saying if you really want an $8 headband like this one, go get it. If you feel like getting a better lid for your Pampered Chef pot so your spaghetti doesn't boil over and drive you stressed crazy as you race to the stove to clean up the water, like that was, I'm glad I made that purchase. I have friends who sell jewelry, and I have friends who sell other beauty products even. I try my best to support everyone. I just bought some things from my 31 Gifts girl, like those little boxes that collapse to help you organize your office, because let's face it, I need to organize my office. But I have the means to buy stuff from other direct sellers because I work for me, and when someone has a charitable donation they need, and I go, ooh, I can come up with $25. Let me see, what can I sell? Or, ooh, I can tap into this. I just made this much money at the last appointment I had. I have so much in personal profit. I can take a little of that and give it to your charity. I didn't have the ability to do that before. It's so freeing to not have to worry about that. It's nice to know if there's an emergency with my car, I can fix it. I have the means to pay for it. And as I'm working on my first free car, by the way, it's all about team building before you ask. It's not about selling. I realize that I have to be selfless and ask people what they want and help them find the solution to their problem. And Mary Kay might be it, maybe not. But I promise I will teach you what I know. I will hold your hand if you need me to. I'll back off the moment you don't need me to. And I will watch you thrive. I want to be a successful leader of leaders and launcher of leaders. And I hope that that speaks to your heart in some small way. Other than that, I will be coming back on live later to talk about skincare and supplements, some of my favorite products. I believe tomorrow I'm focusing on color, so there'll be like talking about color products, and I will do a color mini makeover, 2 of my lives. And I think Wednesday is body. I haven't decided for sure what I'm posting on Wednesday yet, so no, Wednesday, listen to me. Monday, day 3, whatever. Like, don't ask me what day of the week it is. It's something day. But day 3 of this, I think I'm leaning towards doing some body care demo and talking about sun care a little. We also carry fragrance. We carry men's skincare too, FYI, but most of our stuff's gender neutral. And anytime, feel free to ask questions. I will post some pictures with the prices of products separately from the videos and from the regular posts, because I want to make sure I'm following the Facebook guidelines and so forth, but also so you can find things quickly and easily. I have a website you can go to and shop on electronically. There's an e-catalog. The new one's going to be coming out next month, but in the meantime, the one that's current is up to speed. And I love questions. I love being able to answer questions. And if I don't know the answers, I love looking it up and getting back to you. So please don't be a stranger. Comment below. And if you want to know more about me, continue to watch for my posts as I will put more information in them. I just don't have time. I'm on a phone right now, so I can't be like posting links and stuff. I can go back to the video later and add that in. But I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you guys again when I pop on live later. Bye.